Hi, this is Dr. Cairns with a brief lecture for week 6, Managing Teams in Conflict and How It Affects Our Christian Worldview. Remember, we draw our inspiration from the work of Dr. Clayton Christensen, a Harvard Business School professor of economics who wrote a book, How Will You Measure Your Life? And also Dr. Richard C. Tuning on the biblical integration in business, and then the author, Reverend Timothy Keller, and his book, Every Good Endeavor. So first, let's review just briefly what is a biblical worldview. Well, it's an understanding that God created the world and it was good. However, that's the way things are supposed to be, but the world is fallen. So what's the solution and how can it be realized? It can be realized through the work of Jesus Christ in our lives and in the lives of others. So we draw from Scripture that it's inspired to teach us, and God uses that to prepare and equip us for every good work. And so as I enter the workplace, the best way to serve God and understanding of the biblical worldview of doing so, I have chosen one of these basic areas to serve God at work. And you've had an opportunity to examine which way you feel as well. And so it's important that it's not one size fits all, but there's an opportunity for us all to engage in serving God in the workplace. And that our work is not separate from our faith, and our faith is not separate from our work. So this week we're going to be studying developing effective teams, and I want to draw out two aspects of that. Developing effective teams in terms of dealing with team slayers. You're going to engage in that. One of looking at team members that come with a point of view that it's all about me, an egocentric view. And then we also have those that will come with experience, and sometimes that experience is a little bit of cynicism on the thoughts and ideas that are represented. So how do we deal with those? And then there's some verbal and nonverbal abuse that happens. And then we also have bad eggs that are in our team, and how do we deal with that? And let me start with that one first. The best way to identify whether an egg is rotten is to have a bowl of water and to drop those eggs into the water. And the ones that drop to the bottom are the good eggs. Those that rise to the top are the bad eggs. And that may seem the opposite in terms of what we would want to see. However, it's good to know that it's easily identifiable who are the ones that are bringing destructive behavior and dysfunctional behavior to the group, and they're easily identified as well. Much like that parking space where that individual parks out, that egocentric saying, see how important I am? And it's also easy to identify other behaviors as well. So what should we bring into the team? Well, we should look at it from the standpoint that obviously we all have our own self-interests, but we also need to recognize that we place those aside and look at also the interests of others. And if we do that, we will be more effective. And there will be times when, though, we have to deal with dysfunctional behavior, team behavior that's not promoting the team effort. And so what's the best way to do that? Well, the best way to do that is to do that with love. But recognizing, because if we bite off the head of the others, we will be consumed by one another. And before you know it, we'll have bickering back and forth. So deal with it in love. And then team builders. There are things that we can actually proactively do. Focus on solving problems and incorporating the thoughts and ideas of others in terms of solving that. So make sure that we have represented and we allow for the different viewpoints and perspectives to come forward. So as we're dealing with one another and communicating with one another, recognize that it's your responsibility as the sender of the message to make sure that it's received. And know this, that you're going to face testing and trials, and that testing is what's going to produce the ability for that team to be effective, to persevere, and to endure. And if we do, we're going to mature and be more complete. And then lastly, this could be also one that you view a career that you're passionate about, as well as sustainable relationships and developing effective teams, and that is setting goals. And you'll be reading about the 4 C's, having clear, cooperative, challenging, and goals that you're committed to as a team. This is also one way that you can look at your own career in terms of setting the goals for yourself of what you want to accomplish, and are they challenging, and are you committed to those as well. And the important aspect of goals, whether they be for team performance or for your own career, I encourage you to write them down. And in Habakkuk, we find that if we write the answer plainly on tablets so that the runner can carry it correctly, that message to others, it'll be received. And I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. So with that, may you accomplish your goals. I'll see you in the virtual classroom. Have a great week.